And not only that, you're no longer sitting in the markets completely blind, not trading on the lower time frame, blind without actually understanding where you are in the market. Now, when you hop onto the 15-minute and the 3-minute and the 5-minute entry confirmed timeframes, you have a clear understanding of where structure is, of where expectational order flow is going to go, and all you need to go and do is react on what price gives you to target that expectational order flow and structure points. Alright, what's going on, awesome people of YouTube? This is going to be one of the most important trading courses that you will see on YouTube to date. I'm going to show you how I, as a full-time prop firm trader in South Africa, generate about 3 to 10% per month on my $400,000 funded account, as well as understanding your higher time frame narrative of the market. The biggest mistake that traders make is looking for entry confirmations on the lower time frame without looking at what the higher time frame is doing. It is so important as a trader to identify your higher time frame narrative and structure story before looking at the lower time frame. I struggled with this for years. I could never understand how to complement the higher time frame with the lower time frame, and in today's video I'm going to solve this for you guys. I'm also going to break down a $5,000 trade that I had on US30 yesterday during CPI, so make sure to get some coffee, sit bootstrapped in this video, because I'm going to give you tons of value that's taken me years to learn through thousands of dollars of money spent on courses and mentorships that took me to acquire this knowledge. Without further ado, make sure you subscribe down below with the red notification bell on so that I can send you a message every time I post a video update regarding the markets. For those of you that don't know, my channel has moved to trading full time simply because that's what I'm doing full time off of YouTube. So I'm no longer going to focus on dropshipping and e-commerce. Personally, trading has been way more profitable for me with a lot less effort as well. So without further ado, let's hop straight into my PC. Alrighty guys, so I'm going to keep this really simple and easy for you. You're only going to look at 3 time frames. This is all I do. My entire system is very mechanical. That means it's a very easy set of rules to follow that I've developed for myself, which again, like I said, has taken a long time to finally master this. So first and foremost, your swing structural higher time frame bias is your 4-hour time frame. So once on the 4-hour time frame, you will see that price always is printed to you in the forms of higher highs or lower lows. Now, obviously on real chart data, price is not going to look this clean, but once you understand and learn how to spot this, it becomes really easy to mark out. And that's exactly what I'm going to teach you. So let's go and remove this. I'm going to come over to XAUSD, which is one of my favorite pairs. Remember, structure, supply and demand, and confirmation applies to every single market on every time frame. It's a fractal system. If there's a market with buyers and sellers, there is a form of institutional order flow, there is a form of liquidity, there is a form of structure, and there is forms of supply and demand zone. So this concept applies to any market that you can think of that has buyers and sellers in it. If I had to go and create a new public market today about, let's say, a coffee mug company, and they are people trading this market, same thing will apply. Structure, supply, and demand from institutional buyers and sellers. So let's go and take a look at gold. I'm just going to quickly open up a new gold chart because I've got tons of markings on this chart. So I'm just going to quickly hop over to XAUSD. If you want to follow with me, I'm using the XAUSD Forex.com data feed. And over here, you'll see a blank, clean chart. All right, so let's come over to the 4-hour as we are over here, and structure is printed really simply to you. As you can see over here, price is breaking structure to the upside with a clear body break, has that pullback, creates another break of structure, has that pullback, creates another break of structure. And as soon as you start to train your eyes to see this type of structure, it becomes really crystal clear to your mind and to your eyes. So all I want you to do in this video is practice the 4-hour structural time frame, just marking it out and training your eyes to see it. And it becomes really easy over a period of time. For me, this also took me a few months to get right and to practice seeing structure, but after practice and backtesting, it becomes really easy to spot. So if we have a look at current time frame, all you've got to look for is clear highs and lows and mark them out with the mechanical rules that I'm about to give you. So over here, we had a most recent low that had breaker structure to the downside. The reason why this was a strong low at the time, remember when price was over here, price hadn't broken structure to the downside yet. The reason why this low is a strong low point, let me just quickly go and label this as a 4-hour strong low, is because it is the lowest point of the pullback that broke the most recent high to the upside with a body closure. So therefore that is a 4-hour break of structure. So every single low and high needs to have a reason for being that low and high. So like I said, after a break of structure to the upside, price will always 100% of the time have some kind of pullback into the previous structural range on the swing time frame. Because remember, this entire swing structural range like this is a supply or demand zone on the daily, the weekly, or even perhaps the monthly time frame. So this entire candle over here that breaks structure to the upside becomes a demand zone on the monthly. So this entire 4-hour swing structural range is a much higher time frame demand zone. So price after that break of structure will always have that pullback into relative price action of the previous swing structural range, looking to pull back to then continue targeting these weak highs. So after price has that pullback, we can then label this as our 4-hour weak high points. So answer down for me in the comments, what is our expectational order flow from gold over here? Is for price to have that break of structure, that pullback, to then continue bullish, to clear out these weak highs, to then cater that pullback after the next break of structure. After the pullback is to then continue targeting the 4-hour weak highs. So that is expectational order flow. However, price can break structure to the downside. Now what is expectational order flow? Is to have that pullback into relative price action to then continue breaking structures to the downside. So all the structure methodology it's a reaction to what price gives you. So let's continue price on our current live data price, currently at the 14th of June 2023. And let's take a look at what price is giving us. So price had now that breaker structure to the downside because price could not respect the 4-hour strong low to target the 4-hour weak high. Therefore, swing structure has now shifted bearish. So let's go and take a look over here. Price had that breaker structure to the downside with a body closure, which was created by this most recent swing high, which after this breaker structure, price had that pullback. So what is expectational order flow? To continue targeting these weak lows. After that pullback, price had that internal change of character, mitigation onto supply to then continue breaking structures to the downside. So over here, we now had another break of structure to the downside with this 4-hour weak low, which was caused with the most recent 4-hour strong high. After the breaker structure to the downside with a body closure, what does price have? That pullback into relative price action, respecting the 4-hour strong, now continuing looking to target the 4-hour weak low. So let's go and mark this as a weak low. So over here is now our current swing structural range with our 4-hour strong and our 4-hour swing weak low. So what is expectational order flow? Is for price to continue on a lower time frame targeting these weak lows. If price decides to go bullish, breaks above the 4-hour strong high, what is our expectational order flow? Is for price to have that swing pullback to then continue breaking structures to the upside and continuing bullish on our swing structure time frame. So it's super important to have this overall narrative before trading the lower time frames such as your M15 and your 5, 3 and 1 minute for entry confirmations. Step number 2 to identifying your structure story is hopping over from the 4-hour to the M15. All right, so let's take a look. And now the exact same thing applies. You apply the exact same structure schematic that I explained to you on the M15 time frame. So over here, we had price. Let's continue from the beginning of this overall 4-hour swing range. We had price break structure to the downside on the 4-hour. Price then had that M15 break a structure to the upside. So that would be an M15 boss. Remember, M15 structure is the same. It's clear structure that you can see in the market. After that M15 boss, price had that pullback into relative price action into demand zones over here or fair value gaps over here to continue breaking structures to the upside. So over here, we had another M15 boss to the upside with a candle body closure. Remember, a breaker structure must be catered by a body closure, which was caused by this M15 swing low. After that breaker structure, price had that pullback into areas of demand to continue breaking structure to the upside. So over here, it would be valid to look for long positions or buys to continue riding the overall 4-hour swing pullback. All right, so let's continue with this. Breaker structure to the upside. That would be our most recent M15 boss, created by this 15-minute new week low. Price had that pullback, respecting areas of demand to continue breaking structures to the upside. Here, another M15 boss to the upside. So here you can start to see how clear order flow becomes to your eyes. All right, so after that breaker structure to the upside, price has that pullback into relative price action into areas of demand. After the pullback, price continues to break structure to the upside, with this now as our most recent M15 strong low. After this M15 boss, all right, so price had that breaker structure to the upside, that pullback into relative price action, but price could never respect the previous 4-hour strong swing low, but instead broke structure to the downside. Now, if we complement this with the higher time frame, what can we expect and understand? All right, so price has broken structure to the downside on the 4-hour time frame, is in that pullback phase. Price has now shifted bearish on the M15 time frame. So what is our expectational order flow? That now tells us the 4-hour swing pullback is over. We can now look to target that M15 pullback to now target the 4-hour week low. So that all is expectational order flow on gold at the moment. So if we keep following this, all right, so after that M15 boss, price had that pullback with this M15 strong high. All right, with valid supply zones over here and over here. These are all structural supply zones. So what can we expect is for price to mitigate these supply zones like it has over here, which then shifted with a valid breaker structure to the downside and more valid supply zones over here, which price has mitigated, now looking to target the 4-hour week lows. So price has again had that most recent M15 breaker structure to the downside with this M15 strong high, this M15 strong low, week low, apologies, M15 week low. So what is expectational order flow? Is price had that M15 breaker structure, is currently in that pullback phase to look to mitigate areas of supply, to continue taking out the M15 week low and the overall 4-hour week low. So this is your current structure story on XAU USD. And then when it comes to entry confirmations, when price hits areas of supply, so let me just remove all of these Koki pens again. When price mitigates an area of supply, you can hop over to the 3-minute or the 5-minute, and all you simply do is look for the same structural process. So over here, this was obviously news. We had a mitigation into the supply, that pullback, all right, that pullback creating a new structural low, another pullback, price then broke structure to the downside over here with the body closure. So this was what I call an internal breaker structure on the 3-minute and 5-minute time frame, which is basically a change of character. Price, after the breaker structure to the downside, pulled back, mitigating areas of supply, which was 100% valid to look for shorts to target the week lows and the overall 4-hour week lows. So from the news yesterday, this was 100% beautiful setup to take on gold to target the week lows. So hopefully you can start to understand the basics of marking out your structure on the 4-hour time frame and the M15 time frame. Those are the only 2 time frames I use to day trade. This allows you to really manage your risk well, to catch high risk to reward trades. And not only that, you're no longer sitting in the markets completely blind, not trading on the lower time frame, blind without actually understanding where you are in the market. Now, when you hop onto the 15-minute and the 3-minute and the 5-minute entry confirmed timeframes, you have a clear understanding of where structure is, of where expectational order flow is going to go, and all you need to go and do is react on what price gives you to target that expectational order flow and structure points. So let's quickly break down a trade I took on US 30 yesterday. So over here, all right, so this is something I traded very differently this week just because of all the news. I was actually testing out my new V2 matrix liquidity sweep and entry confirmation indicator that I've created. So over here, US 30 had a liquidity sweep and an M15 breaker structure to the upside, which then gave me a sell confirmation. So what exactly am I trading here? I am trading shorts in a very bullish market. However, understanding that the overall M15 structure needs to have that M15 pullback into areas of demand before continuing breaking structures to the upside. So I was riding shorts on CPI yesterday, shorting US 30, which I hit full TP at 1% return on my funded account, which was 100% valid. Yes, it was counter trend, but I understand my expectational order flow as after every break of structure, price has that pullback. And this indicator just gives you a confirmation with the liquidity sweep after the break of structure. This is a really handy indicator that I've introduced to my Discord community. I've also got an expert advisor that hedges these bands, which generates really good profits on your funded accounts as well. So that was just a quick trade that I took on US 30, but understanding my overall structure. Once you understand your structure, take a look at this. Price formed, okay, I don't trade this, but take a look at this example. Some kind of resistance over here. Price broke that resistance, had that retest, but understanding that after that M15 breaker structure, price needs to have that M15 pullback. It's 100% valid to look for long positions on this resistance becomes support. So I don't trade retail or resistance or support, but this is just a silly example of how your trades can work out with any strategy once you understand your higher time frame narrative, your overall structure story from the higher time frame to the lower time frame, and what your expectational order flow is. If you guys want to go and get access to all of my live trades with every single entry that I post, you're welcome to trade alongside with them. So over here on last week Friday, we had a 1 to 7R on gold before we came back to BE. We actually had a 40RR long runner and a 12R on EU last week as well. So every single live traded entry that I post with the reasoning behind my structure is all posted in my Discord and my live chat. You will get access to my entire private mentorship SMC section 1 to 6 course going over supply and demand zone basics, inefficiency and fair value gaps, best zones versus weak zones criteria, understanding mitigated versus unmitigations, which institution controls the market. So every single video in this private course is a step-by-step tutorial on how I trade, structure, supply and demand with confirms. Section 2 goes over your entire structure story, your 3 structure types. Section 3 goes over understanding liquidity and liquidity sweeps and how you can identify liquidity in the market as an extra confluence, as well as learning how to spot liquidity before you become liquidity. Section 4 goes over all of your entry confirms and criteria, such as your change of character, flip zones, my personal favorite, continuation entries, equilibrium zones, and triple M entry confirmations. Section 5 goes over accumulation and distribution in the Wyckoff schematic. Section 6 goes over risk management. And then over here, we've got an entire ICT private course that goes over Judas swing, changes of characters, MSS market structure shifts with fair value gaps that goes over the silver bullet strategy, as well as the 2-box system, as well as our webinar recordings when we stream with the group on weekends, and as well as our back testing sessions over here, applying our strategy into one. Then you will also get access to our V2 Matrix EA, which is a hedging EA specifically for our members. You can actually view all of my results from our EA over here, as well as our new V2 Matrix indicator, which is the same indicator that I showed you over here. You will also get access to our prop firm that we've partnered with our community. You will get unlimited time to pass your accounts. You will get 10% off any evaluation that you purchase, provided that you're an existing Millionaire Mindset funded member, and you will get extreme fast payouts from the same day to 2 days, 85% profit splits, and your withdrawal is every 14 days. You will also get a certificate from me once you get funded as being under the wings of Millionaire Mindset funded. And then we have the public trading floor over here where you can go and post all of your trades. You will see a lot of the members that are succeeding are posting their own trades. Really good place to go and get value and learn from other community members. And as well, we can help you on your trades and your setups and give you some critique on that and where you can improve. And then we have our general chat, psychology, top tier memes, and off-topic chats over here as well. And then also all of our news updates is posted in the newsroom, giving you a heads up for high impact news events in advance. So yeah, if you guys want to go and get access to all of this, I will leave a link down below in the description of this video. Over there, you can chat to me 24/7 if you need some help. And inside the Discord, you can also chat to me or one of the other moderators 24/7, helping you in your trading journey. So if you want to get access to this Discord, everything is down below. I'm also going to leave my free trading playlist on the screen over here, which will give you tons of value and actually goes over my entire trading strategy back from 2019 on how I used to trade with RSI and buy and sell algos back 3-4 years back. So you can actually go and see how my trading system has developed over the last 3 years, which is a really interesting journey to go and watch. So what I recommend you do is go and check out this trading playlist, which is free on YouTube. And if you want access to the Discord, click the link in the description of this video and I'll see you on the inside.